Peace. Welcome back. Take care of your being. Peace, everybody. Come in the room. Peace. Peace to all the gods and goddesses. Okay. Hopefully I got a better connection. I went live early this rising with my son, and we were getting some sun, but they said the connection was choppy. It was pausing a lot, and the reason I was doing that was because he has like yellowing on his eyes, so this could indicate sometimes children have like jaundice and they have other things. It's like a liver thing. So I was trying to expose him to vitamin D to the sun, basically, which will produce vitamin D. His mother gets it, and she could pass it on to breast milk. But right now, I'm just, being strategic with different things so I can, get him to his best state. So he could feel his best, and so he could thrive. And that's why I brought him to this environment, because I want him to thrive. I want him to his cells to regenerate. I want him to breathe fresh air. I want him to drink clean water, and I want him to be able to have foods that is organic, food that is not sprayed with pesticides, and that's why I came to this island, because trying to get as in the process of getting myself in tune, I'm also getting everybody else in tune, my family. So I'm trying to do what's best for everybody, and throughout my life, the knowledge that I've acquired has always led me to, a direction, towards a direction. So at this point, I realized that my food came from the tropics. My food grows in the tropics. It's better weather in the tropics. It's just a better lifestyle in the tropical areas of the world, So knowing this information, that's what I decided to do. I decided to live a life in the tropical regions, So, that's how we live. We live in tune with nature. We just like every other creature on this planet. What you got to understand is that we are here because we have the capacity and the ability to endure a lot. That we can make it through a lot of situations, but most of us are such in a comfortable situation that we never really push ourselves to go beyond that. We never push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So people will say things and live a certain lifestyle, but they're not really embracing the capacity of what they are as a human being, And I look at, like, we would not be here as a species if we couldn't tolerate some certain circumstances, certain situations, like cold weather, hot weather, going without food for long periods of time. There's so many things that we have the capacity to endure, but we don't really know, because we haven't tapped into that, because we've been scared into thinking that we need to eat 3 meals of animal a day. We need to eat cow and chicken 3 meals every day with snacks in between, and drink a bunch of soda and high calorie drinks, because that's the reason what we were born into, But what they don't realize is that we have a capacity way beyond that we can survive on much less and more. Because here's the thing about food. People talk about calories, but it's not about calories. The biggest thing for me is about nutrition, and nutrition is information. Every plant has certain different information. So you might eat a banana and it has certain information. Now, scientists will categorize this as potassium, different mineral contents, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's information. So another plant might have a different set of information. It might have, like an apple might have some certain minerals, it might have some more zinc, or it might have more antioxidants and certain things of that nature. It's all information, but it's all communicating with your body and the cells in your body. So people want to categorize and just say, eat for calories. Like, you just got to eat enough calories and that's it. Not understanding that it's about nutrition, that just because you get the calories doesn't mean that you're getting the right information. Doesn't mean that you're getting everything that your body requires and needs to be able to self-sustain and thrive in a natural environment. You know, so we've been taught a certain way to the point where it's like people are scared to be natural. People are scared to live in a natural way, and they fear this, and this fear conjures up a lot of things that manifest in their life. Like, they have to rely on a system their whole life because they can't kick the fear that they've been programmed with. They can't let it go. They hold on to it for dear life because it's all that they know. Not understanding that before there was any hospitals, before there was any vaccines, before there was any doctors, before there was any businesses that could sell you supplements, you were in tune with nature and you were thriving, and we were, as a species, coming to this very pinnacle of what we are now. Well, I don't even know if we came to a pinnacle. It looks like we're on a decline from here, but what I'm saying is that we made it up until this point without any of these modern things, but yet we've been programmed in a way to think that if we don't have these modern things, that we will crumble and not be able to live a healthy life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to reprogram your mind and know that you are a powerful being. You are limitless potential. A bird does not doubt its ability to live and thrive in tune with nature because it knows that's what it's supposed to do. It knows that its birthright is to eat the natural food that it's supposed to eat. It's not worried about getting a checkup at a doctor. It's not worried about getting a vaccine or getting any of these things, because in its essence, when it has no choice to abide by its natural instinct, but in doing that, it experiences the most purest life that it possibly can. So it's like that's how it is. You got to realize that you can live and thrive without that system, but you do got to learn a lot of shit because you were programmed a certain way. Now you got to learn the natural way. You got to learn how to take care of your body, how to feed your body properly, how to give it the right nutrients. So this all plays a role. We got to fill ourselves with information that truly matters. How to grow your own food. Just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you're going to be healthy, because a lot of vegan food could be GMO, it could be toxic, it could be sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, toxic chemicals that they made so they can make a bigger profit. But when you grow your own food, you become to get in tune with what you're growing. Every food that you put into your body, that you harvest from your land, you will know exactly what went into it because you took the time to care for it. You put your consciousness and your awareness onto this plant, and you nurse and nurtured it so that you can consume it, integrate it into your being. So this is a whole new level of living, because now you have control again. You've regained and reclaimed control over yourself, because what you're built out of, what your cells are built out of, everything in your body is built out of the food that you intake. So literally, you are made out of the food that you input, and whatever you put into your body, whether it be spring water or it be tap water that has fluoride, all of that is integrated into your being when you input it into your body. So most of us have grown up in an environment we've integrated into our bodies toxic food. So we're quite literally built out of poor material. We're built out of material that's not solid, that's not really structurally sound, because it's been distorted and manipulated by the hand of man, or the consciousness of man has been changed and manipulated in a way where it's not serving our best potential. So artificial calcium, or calcium that comes from a rock, is not the same calcium that you get from a plant. So you can eat a leafy green and get a certain amount of calcium, but if you try to get that from a plant, and this is what they do with the vitamins that you take in the store, they're non-organic forms of vitamins. That means that your body can assimilate it. In order for your body to assimilate it, it's got to come through a plant. The plant is what sucks up the nutrients out of the rock. It can extract it from the rock and assimilate it into its structure, into its being, and then when you consume the plant or the fruit, then it can integrate into your being. But if you're going directly to the rock, you're not able to assimilate it, so you're just wasting your money. Plain and simple, you got to realize this, because you could waste a lot of money on these things, but at the end of the day, your vitamins and minerals got to be taken from the plants. You know what I'm saying? So that's the important thing that you got to learn. So you got to want to grow your own food, because growing your own food, you can get those vitamins and minerals. And you got to check on the soil. See, it's a whole thing to it. It's bigger than just eating food. It's bigger than being vegan. It's way bigger than being vegan. And that's just a label that people make, and they put themselves in a box, and all of a sudden, they're scared to try anything else. But at the end of the day, life is bigger than these labels, because throughout our existence, we didn't even have the luxury to have this label. Think about you being in a time without supermarkets, without stores, and somebody comes from your tribe and they brought you, say they hunted a deer and they brought a deer back. Imagine the audacity of somebody to say, I can't eat that, I'm vegan. That would be ridiculous, because they'd be like, bro, like, this is all we got. This is what is available to us. So, we have the luxury to be vegan in these day and age, because we have supermarkets, we have people that grow our own food, but you got to realize that the best thing that you could do is to eat from your environment. And, don't get so stuck in the labels, because the labels will limit you when you're trying to evolve and grow and come to your next stage of evolution. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a vegan diet. There's nothing wrong with eating fruits and stuff like that. Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that, and everything has its place. This is what you got to realize. Everything has a purpose. So when people are doing this vegan diet and they're going through these cleansing process, that's a purpose right there, because what a vegan diet does for most people is that it allows them to be conscious of the food they put into their body. It allows them to now create a space in their body for it to heal, because the food that they were eating before was so toxic and so dense that it wasn't allowing their body to properly heal, So it creates that space and that buffer. And that's what I realized throughout my journey with all the fasting and things that I did to my body to test, what was capable with this machine, with this device. I wanted to see what was capable with it, because people say you can't go without food for, a couple of weeks, but I found out, or a couple of days, but I found out that you can go very, very long periods of times without food. And what we've been trained to think that we need isn't truly what we need, So that's how I started breaking down my reality, through experimenting with my body, But at the end of the day, nothing in nature puts a limit or a boundary or a constraint on what it is supposed to eat. Like a bird wouldn't classify itself as a vegan, or it wouldn't classify itself as a fruitarian, because it's open to the possibilities that what's available in its environment, it will take in, it will consume, So that's a whole different level of thinking. That's a whole different perspective and understanding, because most people think they got to be vegan. And look, and I'm saying, like, definitely, if you want to be vegan and you've been living a toxic lifestyle, absolutely, I would very much recommend, going vegan, eating a fruit-based diet, eating raw. All of that is going to help you cleanse out your body. What it's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to get more in tune with yourself, because it's going to remove the insulation that is blocking you from looking at your issues, what's behind the eating. Because people think we just eat for energy, but a lot of us are eating for emotional reasons. A lot of us are eating because we have issues in our life that we're trying to set aside, we're trying to ignore. There's many reasons why people eat. People don't, nowadays in modern times, people don't just eat for nutrition. They don't eat because they gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? People nowadays eat because they're just bored. People eat out of boredom nowadays, or they eat because there's a show coming out on Netflix that they want to have something to eat with, So it's many levels to this, It's bigger than just a label that anybody could slap on you. Like, nobody could ever label me, because at the end of the day, I'm a species on this planet, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to survive in a given circumstance. You know what I'm saying? So in this circumstance, I have access to certain foods. I have access to, to farmers markets. I have access to farms. I have access to grocery stores. So that's gonna change and dictate what I'm consuming. But in an environment, in a time, you know, that's wouldn't be available, things would switch. And people don't realize this. They think that because nothing grows year round. First of all, say you're living in the tropics, you got a lot of fruit trees. Even that is going to be very difficult to sustain long term just on plant based. So you gotta be open to the options. You gotta. I'm not saying that you gotta. People in the Amazon, tribes in the Amazon, people in the Amazon eat about 5% of their calories from animals. Now, what you would consider them is plant-based, because the majority, the base, the foundation of what they eat is plants, nuts, fruits, and stuff like that. So the foundation for what they eat is plants. But there is a small percentage of animal product that they do consume, because they're not discriminating on anything, because they don't look at life how we do. They don't have access to the grocery stores, and they got to do what they got to do to survive in that environment, And there's a lot of factors that play into it, because they've already taken the land and they cut a lot of the land. They reduced the amount of food that we can harvest from the land, so that all plays a role. But what I'm saying is just plain and simple: don't lock yourself into a role. Just test things and experiment things for yourself on your own self, so that you can know what's working for you and what your body requires in this moment in time. I would never eat the same breaking a fast that I would eat on a regular time, at any regular time in my life, So it's different situations that require different action, that require you to eat different things, and even way beyond eating, but dealing with different people require different. If you know their astrological energy, you can approach somebody in a different way. It's not so you can't just put one label over everything and expect it to go well, because life is more diverse than that. Life is diverse, and you got to be able to see things and adjust so that you can procure for yourself the better result. So what do you mean have I felt like this for myself? No, I'm not nervous at all. I hydrate. Yeah, fruits are very hydrating. I noticed that when I eat cooked food, I'm more thirsty, and I feel the dehydration, especially things like beans and rice. So I'm trying now. I'm going back to just the fruit more so, and things that aren't so taxing on the body, that aren't so complex to be broken down in the body. You're 7 days in on a water fast. Wow, that's good. I mean, how's that going for you? That can be challenging, because what I would recommend. I did a video about this on YouTube. Whenever I fasted, I would always look at videos and get information on the benefits of fasting, because it would inspire me to keep going. It would I would focus on that instead of like focusing on the food and stuff like that. I would focus on the benefits of it, and I would just try to go inward and do some healing within myself, emotional levels and all types of things. I would look into traumatic experiences within my life and just try to touch bases on that more so, because that's really where it's at in that moment in time. When you take away the food, you get a big mirror that's just reflecting you back to you. You're like, what are you going to do? It's like you're not waiting to eat anymore, because you're not eating at that time. So it's like you can't distract yourself till lunchtime. There ain't no lunchtime, You can't distract yourself with food or going to a restaurant because you're not eating, So it's like it really makes you do some inward reflection, Probiotic capsules. What I would recommend is put the probiotics into, it's the culture of your own probiotics. Many cultures have done this for thousands of years. Basically, if you can get some vegetables and you could chop them up and put them in some water with some salt and store them in your in a mason jar in your drawer, that'll create a ferment, basically a fermentation. A process that they call like sauerkraut or kimchi. Depends what culture you go to, but basically it's a fermented food, that carries that natural probiotics, because all food naturally has bacteria. Everything has bacteria. There's bacteria everywhere. You can't escape bacteria. Bacteria is like a source of life, and even in your own being, we got bacteria all throughout our being, in our gut, that produces a lot of, the things that we need for our body. But the plants, they have their own bacteria. So when you put these into the water with the salt, it multiplies the bacteria, and basically, you get yourself a free probiotic food that you could consume on a daily basis. You could throw that in your salads or just eat it, whenever you can, so that you can get those bacteria from the soil, because the soil is very depleted of bacteria, so that's going to help restore and regenerate some of the bacteria, which is just information, which is just a symbiotic creature that lives inside of you at a microscopic level, but it's helping you to break down a lot of nutrients and foods that your body needs to assimilate into the body, So yeah, you could do that, or you could also, what I used to do is I would get the probiotic capsules like you were saying, and I would make a yogurt out of it. So I would get like a nut and a seed, I would soak it, and then afterwards I would blend it in the blender and make a yogurt with the probiotic in there. Let it sit on the counter for a couple of hours till it started expanding. The bacteria started to multiply. Again, this is just another probiotic food. Put it in the fridge after that, and you could eat it with, you could put it in smoothies, or you could just eat it just like that. It's like you get a taste for it, because at first it has like a certain bite to it. Like you would eat the yogurt, and it's like you could feel the bacteria, like it's bubbling and it's like tingling, So, and then the more fermented it gets, the more of a tingling that you could feel, because the bacteria is multiplying, So, but that's better, It just go easy, because you don't want to throw off your body, and it can kind of give you the runs if you go too fast, because you want to slowly integrate this bacteria into your body. Do I eat almond butter? Yeah, I actually just ate some almond butter on a date. So I do eat almond butter. Yeah, I mean, I've gone long periods of time without showering. I'll just put some lime on it. Especially when you eat very clean, your body does not produce very much of an odor, and it's kind of crazy, because some people go 1-2 days that don't understand their diet, and you could smell them from a mile away, But I will say this, that there's also a natural odor that your body produces. Hey, peace, Raw Living Foods. There's a natural odor that your body produces, which is kind of a signature for your being, So you got to be able to distinguish the two. But there's some smells you just be like, yeah, it's coming from something foul that you ate, because the body, as it accumulates food in the body and things and toxins and toxicity, basically it's going to expel it through the lymph nodes. Now, you have lymph nodes in your neck, you have lymph nodes in different parts of your body, but you also have lymph nodes under your armpits, So your armpits are secreting, toxins, they're secreting sweat, and they're letting go of things, from these areas that are lymph nodes, So that is important to know too, because you don't want to wash away that natural odor. If it's your natural odor, that's just who you are. But if it is a smell that's just like has a foul smell to it, it's not something natural, you might want to look at things in your diet that you want to change. I know garlic for me produces a very prevalent smell, when I eat garlic. So I think that's more of a medicinal food. Definitely. Food. It's interesting, because people think that food gives you energy, but some food that some people eat actually takes more energy away from them than it gives them back. Why is that? Because the food that they eat is like having a hard time digesting in their body. That your body is using more of its energy to break down the combination of food that they put into their body than it is than the food is giving you back, basically. So that will stress your body out, and it'll put you in a state of wanting to go to sleep, because when you sleep, your body has a chance to digest that food. It has a chance to operate different processes in the body, because it shut down certain, like the brain function, that things that take up a lot of energy, because your brain is what takes up the most energy. So if that part of your mind is shut down, it's going to have a more availability to digest food and to do other things in the process. And that's why sleeping is a healing process. When you go to sleep, it's the time to heal. When you go to sleep, your body's regenerating, and it's basically healing itself. So you need rest, absolutely, and the cleaner and the more in tune with the earth and the more clean food you're eating, the less sleep you will require. So that's just what it is. I will say though, when you're fasting, sometimes you can use sleep as a component to kind of escape reality, because it's like the more you sleep, the faster it'll go through. The experience will go through, and you'll get to the point where you eat. And then when you do eat, you don't want to sleep for nothing, because it's like you could eat now. You're excited about eating. I remember when I would break my fast, I would sleep like 3 hours a day, because I would like be in the kitchen getting snacks all day. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm just so happy that I could eat again. Like, everything tastes amazing when you break a fast. Everything tastes amazing. Like, the first thing that you eat is like you could taste every mineral and nutrient in it, because your palate is so clean. Your tongue has a basically is programmed a certain way to certain foods, but when you fast, it reprograms that, and it's just like so receptive to information. As soon as you put the food on your tongue, it just sucks all the information, and you could taste everything, and it's an amazing feeling. So I used to love that part of fasting, of course, breaking the fast and being able to eat again. And I would always go too fast. I was like, once I started eating, I would start indulging very quickly. Like, I'll start eating heavy ass shit on like the second or third day when you're not supposed to. But I was like, nah, I'm hungry. Like, I want to taste this already. I can't wait. So I would just do that. But I never really did anything too bad, because I ate a raw food diet, so I would eat like raw snacks and stuff, but it wasn't nothing heavy like beans or rice or meat or anything like that. But that was very interesting to me throughout my journey. Whenever I did that, I thought that was dope. How your body can. It's like we're so saturated with food and information that we can't really discern things. We can't really discern when you eat something that you're not supposed to be eating, because it's been so saturated, your tongue's so saturated, you're so used to putting whatever in your body that you don't have no discernment. It's like, okay, like we're eating again, like facts, but it's not. But when you're sensitive, when you reprogram your body to receive good food, you can pick up on subtle things. So you'll pick up on a subtle note, a subtle flavor. And when you eat a fruit for the first time, it's like it registers something within your DNA. I remember doing this a lot. Like, when I would eat a fruit that I hadn't tasted, it would spark something. Like, I could feel something being activated in my body, like something, light bulb going off. Like, my body would be like, oh, damn, like, I haven't had this in a minute, or I remember this, like, on an ancestral tip, like. And that's why I like eating and trying a diverse amount of foods, because I feel like it sparks. And food does do this. It's actually a fact that scientifically, like, different foods activate certain genetics. Right now we're showering with rainwater, so rain gets captured in the system, and then there's an outdoor shower here. I exercise daily. I actually just getting back into that. I had been stagnant for a while. I've been in a situation where, I really wasn't exercising, but now I'm getting back into exercising. I want to just get my body more fit, like how it used to be. I'm getting in shape, and I'm gonna look better, take care of myself, But yeah, I did cut my hair. I already explained why I did that, because I was getting rid of old energy. I said this every single video. Somebody else comes in. I got rid of old energy. I started fresh. I'm on a new island that's thousands of miles away from anybody else, and I just came and integrated and started fresh. Got my family, and we, letting go of the past, and we're moving forward, and we're looking forward, and we're positive, and we're teaching still. We're still teaching. This is what we're still doing. We're sharing information in our life with y'all, but it's on a whole different level. It's like we're showing you things that actually matter. We're showing you how to grow your own food, how to harvest your own food, how to harvest. I want to get into harvesting like wild food. I want to get into harvesting food from nature that nobody even planted, just stuff that nature provided in its own self. I want to get into showing you the technologies of the body and the possibilities and capabilities of this organism. I want to show a lot of things. So, this is just the beginning, and we're just barely getting settled in here in Hawaii. We're looking to find our place and where we fit in, But, the universe will provide, because it always does, all throughout my life, even in moments where I felt like it wouldn't, felt like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, it always comes through, because that's just how life is, It just tests you in certain moments, like, see how positive you could stay, see how much faith you have in yourself. And if you really truly believe in yourself, it'll do that to you, so you can take a look at yourself, basically. Then you'll be looking back like, damn, I can't believe I doubted in that movement, because now we're experiencing a better time. We went over the test, we passed the test, and now we're experiencing the outcome of staying positive and on track and focused. Hawaii is beautiful. Hawaii is pristine, and it's like the beaches and the sunset every day is beautiful, and it's just a beautiful weather and a beautiful ambience. It's peaceful here, and I'm just so grateful to be here because where we came from it was like a darker place, and it's just like here it's like more of a light, it's more of a positivity, it's more of a vibration of positivity, so I absolutely love it, and so that's what we're on. Yeah, I haven't had much experience. Oh, what I was gonna say too, that if you should start growing your own food, like I was saying, grow your own food, but you can start growing your own food with microgreens. This is a very good thing. That's what I used to do. I used to sprout things in my house, like I used to have like alfalfa sprouts, um, all kinds of sprouts, sunflower sprouts, lentils, mung beans. I used to sprout everything, but it's called microgreens. Basically, it's like the beginning stages of a plant, and I want to get into doing this too, growing lots of microgreens, because first of all, they're highly nutritious and they're very easy to grow, and you can grow them in your own house, in your apartment. It don't matter if you don't got no land, you can grow them in your apartment. So you just got to plant the seed, get some soil, a little bit of soil, and depending on if you have any lighting there or not, but you can look it up online. It's a very simple process, but what this will do, it'll spark that gardening farmer, that touch of being in tune with the land and growing food and seeing food sprout from the ground and being in tune with the growing process, because all the food, it comes from a seed. It starts from a seed, as the seed sprouts, and then it comes out of the ground and it begins a process of growing. And like with fruit trees, they go to flower, and then that flower blooms and then it turns into a fruit. And it's just a whole process of being in tune with the earth. That's what's really being in tune. When you know what's about to drop from that tree, because it's a certain time of year, or it's a certain months have passed since the last time, that's when you truly in tune, because to be in tune means to be aware of your environment. And if you're aware of especially food, because food is what sustains our being, is what sustains life. So you gotta be aware of the source of where food comes from. Food comes from trees, it comes from plants. You gotta be aware of when these things produce the very thing that sustains your life. If you don't know about these things, then you're not really in tune with the earth. You're not really in tune with the all. You're just pretending to be, This is really being in tune, because other people are doing it for you, but you want to do it for yourself, because eventually a time is going to come when you will have to, eventually, you have to learn this process anyway. If humanity is to continue, we got to grow our own food. Everybody got to have their own garden. Everybody got to start their own garden so we can share and trade food, so we can sustain ourselves. We don't got to rely on a system, so when if that system crashes, you're good, you're straight, because you already got the abilities, you got the skills to be able to procure food for yourself, So that's the bottom line. Start planting fruit trees. Fruit trees is like the best thing, because they don't require a lot of maintenance. They take a couple years to grow, but once you got that fruit tree blooming and going, it's just gonna produce for you, and you want to grow a lot of fruits and different types and varieties of fruit. It don't matter if you're in the States or not. There's fruits that grow in the States. You can grow apples, you can grow pears. If you're in the tropics, you can grow everything. You can grow pretty much anything, soursop, jackfruit, whatever you want. But you got to start now, because we want to begin the process of planting these trees, because they take a minute to grow, and then eventually you'll be able to reap the benefits of your of what you've sowed, basically. Okay. The best way to get started if you're trying to go vegan is just information. Learn why you should. Learn what's beneficial about it. Learn what it's going to do for your body. And just get all the information on why you should do it, because then you'll be inspired to actually stay on it. Because and you could take it from any variety of ways. You could say, I want to do it for the animals, but then also do it for your health, do it for yourself. I do everything for myself, because I have to take care of myself first, and when I take care of myself, that I help the whole world, because I am the whole world. So, but it all begins with self. So I always look at it from that perspective. I'm doing this for me, and not doing that for me helps everything else, because when I'm in tune with myself and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, everything else is a domino effect that gets taken care of. But for veganism, I would look into documentaries that support veganism, information that supports that, and just start subscribing to YouTube channels, start subscribing to people who are actually teaching how to live this lifestyle, people who live in this lifestyle. You detox your body. There's so many ways to detox your body. You don't need anything. Just go outside, stand in the sun for an hour a day. Acclimate yourself and get build gradually up to that, but put yourself in the sun. The sun will detox your body. You don't need a sauna. Sauna. I just went in the sauna today. It felt amazing. But if you just want to start and you don't have anything right now, and you have the sun where you're at, use it, because the sun is a powerful detoxifier. It'll pull things out of your body that don't need to be in your body, and it'll produce hormones and certain things in your body that your body does need. So it's a very beneficial thing. It's a source of all life on this planet. You want to be connected and in tune with it. Aside from that, drink a lot of water, a lot of clean water. Distilled water helps to clean the body because it pulls inorganic minerals from the body that need to get out of the body anyways. Other than that, you could drink some clean spring water, but just make sure you're staying very hydrated. Hydration is a flow that will clean your body out, because it'll reduce stagnancy. Stagnation. One of those things, whatever that word, being stagnant. Basically, it'll reduce being stagnant in your body, because it'll push that flow. Everything in nature is flowing. Everything in nature is moving. Even the atoms in your cells in your body are moving. The electrons are spinning around the nucleus. Everything is in constant movement and action. The more you stay still and stagnant, the more disease is procured in your body. The more things go wonky and things go wrong. So to get back in tune, you definitely need to be moving. Alkaline water. Look, I never really buy into alkaline water, because water is just what it is. You can have alkaline water, but it's deeper than alkalinity. Water has to be structured. Water has to have minerals. Well, in nature, from a spring, it would have minerals. It would be structured. It would have certain microorganisms in it. In nature, it wouldn't just be alkaline. It would be alkaline, but not just alkaline. It's bigger than that. It's deeper than that. And people, have this machine that'll give you alkaline water, but I look at it as deeper than that. You want the minerals. You want the microorganisms that would naturally be produced. So this is what I would suggest. Go to findaspring.com. Find a spring that's close to your area and harvest your own spring water. That way you could really be in tune with the earth. You could really be in tune with your environment, because now you're getting water from a source. And here's what spring water is. Spring water is water that has basically rained on the mountain, like from a mountain, and it goes into the ground, and it permeates through the bedrock, and as it's going through the bedrock, it's getting filtered. It's getting filtered by rocks, for sediment, clay, different things, and as it's moving through the bedrock and the mountain, it's getting structured, because it carries a certain shape, and it travels in a vortex, and it structures the integrity of the water. Basically, the water is structured in a way to where the water molecules are lined up in a certain way that can more easily be assimilated into your body, because the water that's in your blood is actually structured water, meaning that it has been placed in a certain way. So this is a good water to drink, in my opinion. Spring water is definitely a good thing. So findaspring.com and try to get some spring water. The reason doctors say that the sun causes cancer is because they don't know what they're talking about. First of all, because the sun, I don't use sunscreen, and this goes right along with that question. The sun produces a spectrum of light, and that spectrum is UVA and UVB. These are two different spectrums of the sun. If you don't have both of these, your body will not receive what it needs to receive. UVA is the form of light. UVA has to work with UVB in order to get you that vitamin D that your body needs. So you need both of the spectrums. When you put on sunscreen, it blocks out the necessary components, UVB, that you need to receive the vitamin D hormone, to produce the vitamin D hormone in your body. So you don't want to put on sunscreen. If you are sensitive to the sun, I will say you want to acclimate yourself to the sun. You want to go 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just keep increasing exposure so that your body will start to produce melanocytes or melanin from the melanocytes. It'll stimulate it to produce melanin, which will darken you up, which will allow you to have more tolerance to the sun, and allow you to be out in the sun for longer periods of time. So that is what you want to do. The reason they say it causes cancer is because the people who are taking the sun in, they're probably putting on sunscreen, so that's blocking out the positive effects of the sun, which are actually anti-cancerous. But not only that, but the sunscreen itself is toxic and it produces cancer. So they're putting into their pores of their body, and everything that you put on your skin gets absorbed into your body. If you can't eat it, you probably shouldn't put it on your skin, because it does get absorbed into your body. It goes to your pores and the dermis of your skin, and it does go into the bloodstream. But also, on top of that, they're living a very toxic lifestyle. They're eating toxic food. The sun is just pulling out of you that which is toxic. It doesn't belong. So in the process of doing that, certain melanomas might get produced, and things might get produced that is harmful to your body, but only because you put in that toxicity to begin with. It wasn't the sun that did anything. The sun is just merely trying to pull that out of you. But you got to be very conscious, very careful about who you listen to, because certain information sounds truthful and factual, but it's deeper than that. What about getting sunburned? That's why I said just acclimate yourself. You don't want to get sunburned too much, because that's actually damaging to your skin, But you have to slowly increase the exposure to the sun, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, until you can just be out in the sun for however long. But over time, you will build up a tolerance. Your skin will produce melanin, and you'll be able to stand the sun longer. So yeah, I use coconut oil instead of sunscreen. It has an SPF of like 15 or 10. So you can use coconut oil as a form of protecting your skin from the sun if you can't tolerate it too much or too long. So I'm thankful, Bombshell Val. Yeah, we out here in Hawaii, and we thriving, Nationality, I think that means when you're born somewhere. Well, I was born in San Diego, California, but my parents were born in Mexico, so I don't know, but I'm just human, I'm just a bunch of cells in a consciousness, but that's what they would categorize me as. Shea butter, cocoa butter. Yeah, I use aloe vera. I love aloe vera. I always use aloe vera. I used to use it every single day. Put it in a smoothie, and then the scraps that I would get, the skin, I would just rub it on my skin. It's beautiful for the skin. It really makes the skin glow, and it's antibacterial and antifungal, so it'll reduce any of that on your body. Yeah, actually, I think we're getting a PO box. So if you want to message me, we could talk about that. I'm not sure right now, but you could message me about that, Sharice. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have been told that that I look like Native American, especially when I grow my hair and stuff. I have it in a ponytail. I think I look native, but I've been thinking that I'm like originated like Mexico. I would say like Mayan, Aztec, whatever. There's many tribes that originated throughout that, and it's interesting because I always like the culture, but like the Aztecs, they grew a lot of food. They actually developed a lot of the agriculture that we see today. They were masters of agriculture. They could plant food. They developed a way to plant food basically in areas that you can't grow shit, but they found a way to do it. They will create these raised beds that will float. They were like floating gardens and shit. They were really smart. They were in tune with the land. But then I don't know. The Spanish came, conquered everything, and yeah, Sharisa, that would be amazing. Why are you saying it's Monday? I don't get it. Um, yeah, there's some very dark Mexicans. Even when we were in southern Mexico, there was some very dark Mexicans. Well, oh, keeping my Zen. That's interesting because actually, calling him Zen. He's Zen now. Baby Zen, Lil Zen, Zenny. I don't know, whatever you want to call him. What day is it? Oh, you saying that because of time difference? Um, I think it's like 5 hours from the East Coast if you're in the East Coast. It's like a 5 hour difference. Like that's why I want to go live. I'm trying to go live earlier now because last time I went on like at 8 at night here, and I forgot that the time difference was so big, and it was like 1 in the morning, and I was like, and people were like, "Damn, why you up so late?" But yes, it's like about 5 hours from the East Coast. Yeah, I love Zen because it's just like a peaceful name, and it's really like I don't know, it just actually has some meaning to it, and there's another part of it, but we're not really sharing his like actual name, with the world, but we are sharing what we're calling them, which is Zen. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's Sunday. It is Sunday. I was thinking like I don't even know what day it is, but it's Sunday. She's with the baby actually. She's with Zen, and she's just been taking time right now. I'm glad we're in a place right now where we can kind of just we're being able to take some time to kind of just heal, and just go into a healing state and be able to take care of ourselves and and do what we got to do to get back on track with being in tune with ourselves. Because for a minute it was like I just felt like I didn't have as much control. Although you always have control, it's just an illusion. But I just feel I'm in a space now where I could take care of myself, my family, and my son, and I want to take the opportunity and time to heal anything that has happened up to this moment. So that's what we're doing, currently. So she's focused on just getting back, to her best state, so the baby could be in his best state, and we could all be in our best state, so we could thrive. That's absolutely what's gonna happen. But it's a process. Oh, your daughter name is Serenity. I don't know. I mean, I think I like her hair. I like Serenity's hair. I don't think she will do it. Yeah, because Serenity and Zen is like both like peaceful things. Nah, not at all. We're not chilling. I mean, I'm just taking some time right now. But earlier, like I cut down some bananas, and I cleaned the house inside, and I just swept around and cleaned things up around here. But I'm always doing something. I was working on some projects on the computer, and I'm always looking for something to do. I don't like to just not do anything. But I don't know, just the time as the days, they don't really play too much of a role right now in my life because I'm not going based off of that calendar like that. But if it were, I'm sure I would be more in tune with what day it is and all of that, and time of the month. And yeah, I think I do want to change my name, but I don't know to what. I was thinking about that. I want to let go of that old energy, but it's like I didn't want to force something just because and call myself anything. But I just wanted it to come to me and allow it to come to me. So that's what I'm still doing. She's upstairs. Yeah, so I don't even know what I was talking about. I forgot. I kind of went off topic, off course, but I was talking about so many things in this download. I was talking about diet, what to eat, how to take care of your body, but just mainly I wanted to say, like, just take care of yourself, love yourself, you give yourself the best. Like, don't worry about the shoes that are on your feet, don't worry about the clothes that is on your back. Worry about the people in your life. Worry about your environment. Worry about the food that you put into your body. Give yourself the best. Love yourself on all levels, and just take care of yourself, because you're all you got. And without you being healthy, nothing in your environment could be healthy. You gotta first, look within, and be good and be straight within yourself before you go out into the world and try to teach anything, or try to you could teach along the process, but you gotta get right with yourself. That's the ultimate thing. We're all learning to love ourselves in many ways, but we've been taught not to love ourselves. We've been taught to live backwards and go against ourselves. So it's like now we're correcting all the behavior that no longer serves us. And even me, I'm getting back in tune with that, because before carbonation and all that, I felt like I was more in tune with myself. I was more in tune with my body, and I just was doing a lot more for myself. But somewhere along the lines, I just kind of lost that touch, but it's very necessary. First, when you get up in the rising, the first thing you want to do is do something good for yourself. Say some positive affirmations, do some exercise, eat a good, healthy, nutritious breakfast. I would recommend just eating some liquid. Don't eat too heavy in the morning. As soon as you wake up, drink some water or something like that. Jump in a sauna, just take time to care for yourself. Just on a conscious level, what that does for you, it is programming yourself to look out for yourself and to love yourself, and if you start your day like that, the rest of your day is going to have that same tone. So you're going to walk around feeling good about yourself and wanting to do things for yourself. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's crazy, because I never really pictured sharing my personal life with people. I was always about the information. Before, when I was on social media, I never used to share life, my personal life. I would share what I do, the information, but it wasn't about me personally and my journey. But that's what it turned into. Became me sharing, my journey with people. So it's dope though, because I realize that it inspires people, and it's funny, because I used to look at people online and follow people, and I was inspired by people and their own personal journey. But I think when you share your personal journey, it clicks with people, and they could resonate with it, and it's just something that people get inspired by, because they could relate to it. They could see something in you that they see in themselves, or they could picture going down the same path and road as you, or there's just something about you that resonates with them, So it's important that we share our journey, because it's somebody's gonna resonate with it. You're gonna help somebody out, You're gonna empower somebody to be their best self just by you being your best self. They're gonna be inspired to do that, So I realize the importance of it now. It's more bigger than just the information, but the application of that information into one's personal life and sharing that with the world is something very powerful, and that's why people do it, and that's why people watch. If it wasn't powerful, nobody would be watching. If it wasn't important, there wouldn't be as much of it in the world, I'm gonna block this dude because he's asking some ridiculous questions. But yeah, I'm just so thankful to be in the space. I'm so thankful to be of service. I'm so thankful to have people watching and to be part of a community of people, because I feel like it's a group effort. I feel like all of humanity is working for a common purpose, or at least the vibration that I'm on, and the people that watch me, and the people who rock with me, and who are on the same tip as me. I feel like that all is a humanity. It's like one being that's metamorphizing in your front of your face, and becoming something more. We're all in this together, and we're all helping each other out. Some people got this information. Some people can show you how to farm and plant food. Some people show you how to eat. Somebody show you how to fast. Somebody will show you, we're all learning and becoming greater and greater. Some people got the emotional part of it. Some people got the astrology. People could do astrology and read your charts. So it's like a whole community of people that are coming together for the healing of oneself, which is truly the healing of the being that we're all a part of, which is humanity, And when you look at it that way, it really empowers us, I don't know, low-key just want to probably give them some fruit, maybe an avocado, or, something like that, But I kind of want to keep him like not so sugar based. I want to do some, I don't want to get him hooked on sugar before he even gets a chance to know if that's what he wants. Because once you get hooked on sugar, it's like people have a hard time getting off of it, But I would like to introduce some, natural fruit, as the first thing that solid food that he eats, and see how he responds to that. But yeah, I feel like I've been on here for a minute, but I guess this time is, yeah, the baby's zen now. That's a fact. Oh, they just posted it, baby's zen. Sea moss. I never had sea moss, but I've heard it has a lot of good minerals and stuff. Definitely, if that's something that you have access to, I would definitely consume it, But you know what also has a lot of minerals and actually tastes good? Sugar cane. Get some sugar cane. If you can get some sugar cane juice, that's amazing. It has like 90 plus minerals as well, but it's delicious, and it's just it's what actually. You see, that's the crazy thing. It's like sugar, refined white sugar is probably one of the worst things you could eat, but then the actual juice from the sugar cane, which is the same plant that they make that refined sugar with, is actually one of the best things you could eat. So I find that so interesting because they do this a lot. It's like with weed. They take the herb, they genetically modify it, they make different ways, they make it into a wax, they strip it down, they do all these things to it, and it's like by the time they're done with it, it's not even good for you anymore. It's probably toxic, but in its natural state, it's a medicine, it's something beneficial, So that's so interesting to me. So yeah, sugarcane, is really good. It has 90 plus minerals and it tastes amazing. We've been drinking sugarcane juice since we got to the island, and it just tastes so good. It's so refreshing, and the reason it's sweet, more so than the sugar content, is the minerals. Minerals actually make it sweeter. So if you drink some spring water, it'll taste sweet. And I remember when I used to fast, water would taste sweet. At one point in my fast, I would be like drinking the water and I'd be thinking like, damn, is there some sugar in here, or is there some, what I used to use before? I used to use, what is that plant that tastes sweet but it has no sugar? Maybe one of you knows, but it's just a stevia. There you go, stevia. I thought it was stevia in there or something that I had accidentally put in there. But no, it was just because of minerals. The minerals actually make the water sweet. So if the plant has a lot of minerals, it'll taste sweet. So sugarcane has so many minerals that it'll be sweet just based off of that fact that it has a lot of minerals. So, it's not the sugar content as much as the minerals. When things have a lot of minerals, they'd be sweet, naturally. So, get you some sugarcane juice because that has 90 plus minerals and it tastes great. I never tasted sea moss, but I've heard that it wasn't that pleasing to eat, So it'll be easier if you're transitioning, especially to eat a food that actually tastes good. Spirulina, somebody mentioned, is very good too. I like anything that comes from the earth that has a lot of minerals. That's pretty much grabbing sunlight. Like these algae and these things, I think is dope because they're like the primordial organisms that harvest energy from the sun. So if you can't get it from the sun directly, the second best thing would be to get it from a microorganism that is procuring that energy, So I got a minute left here. I got a minute left, so I just wanted to say I'm grateful to everybody that came in this live. I'm grateful to be of service. I'm going to try to pull this and put it up on my YouTube, so I can share it with the world so you could rewatch it. But I just want to say I love you all, and I'm grateful that you guys have been a part of this live. And I will definitely see you guys again. But if you have any questions, want to hit me up, you can hit me up in the inbox. If you want to talk, communicate, you want to build. All right, but that's about it. See you guys next time. Take care of yourself. I appreciate y'all.